Hold on, maybe I should put my earpiece on. Good idea. Okay, can you hear me now? Hey guys, tell me if you can hear me. Please send me a thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me or not. No? Can't hear me? Can you guys hear me? Ah, there we go. Yes, I guess the voice is going in the earpiece. So yeah, guys, I was just saying Kherson is a new city that was taken over from the by the Russian. So the city of Kherson over there in Ukraine is being run right now by the Russian. Thank you, TR. So I am just looking at this thing, man. This is wild. What's going on there in Ukraine? Feel in their lives stuff, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of refugees now. Again, again. BJ, good evening. How are you? You can hear me? Excellent. Hey, BJ, I didn't see you night before last night on the chat, so we were actually talking about that, what's going on in Ukraine. And I feel for the people of Ukraine. Please remember to pray for them. This, the uphandedness. One of their city, Kherson, was just taken over a while ago by the Russian. So the Russian moved in, they took over one of the city. The mayor said the city dropped. They're up to 800,000 people right now as far as refugees are concerned. Man, I'm beat, guys. If my eyes look a little small, forgive me on that. But I'm just wondering, man, what are we gonna do? What are we going to do? What can we do? Over here. First we were wondering if it was gonna affect us in some way or another. But I just drive past 5 gas stations coming in from work, and the gas prices keep going up and up. I feel like we're jumping about 10 to 15 cents per day. So this is definitely affecting us. The um, bread, clothes, everything is going up. So I don't know what we are going to do. What are our options? What can we do? I just realized also that the United States just sent some anti-aircraft missile or anti-aircraft to Ukraine, just to help combat some of what's going on between them and Russia. So I guess if Russia send a bomb over there, then they can somewhat defend themselves. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to drop prayers for the people of Ukraine, man. It's tough because Putin is not going to stop. Doesn't seem like he wants to stop. It seems like it's going to keep going. I just don't know how many more days. We were doing really good um, before the COVID thing came in. Then COVID popped in, and then here we are, and now we have a war. But hey, what do you guys think? Does this look like a World War III? Does this look like an all-out World War III between nations? Can they get Ukraine to be a part of the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance? You think they can get them to join NATO before this or the whole outright war starts? Because right now everything is looking real nice, and then you have Zelensky, which is the president of Ukraine, at least for now. He's asking for the emergency session. He wants people to jump in, so the Ukrainian can be a part of NATO. Still don't know why it took them this many years after they got freedom from back in 1991 after the Soviet Union fell. But nevertheless, he wants to get into NATO. This is the reason why Putin is attacking the country, because he does not want, another neighbor into NATO. I guess he has already Latvia and Lithuania and all of these other countries that are part, that used to be a part of Russia or used to be a part of the Soviet Union, and now they're joined in on NATO. So he feel like he's being squeezed tight. So I'm just wondering, do you guys feel like they will allow them to get into NATO, at least right now? Because they're going to need the help of NATO. I don't think we can give them enough anti-aircraft missile. I don't think we can give them enough missile for them to fight themselves. I just don't think they have enough manpower. When you look at Russia, Russia has I think like 1.3 million troops to roll around. They have a lot of space, they have a lot of people, and that's not including the reserve. We're only talking about what they have, or who is there as far as in the military, who joined the military. So you're talking about 1.4 million people rolling around, or 1.3 million people rolling around as military soldiers. Ukraine don't even have that many soldiers. They're only looking at about 250,000 soldiers, and I don't know how many they have on reserve. So, they're going to need help from other nations. I think we should definitely, throw them into the NATO. Definitely give them an opportunity to jump into NATO and say, hey, we're going to help to defend you. Because remember, it is a yes, BJ, I heard he applied, but how long does it take for them to accept his membership? Because right now, time is of the essence. It's snowing. The convoy is still rolling in. Even though they have, problems, I heard that the Russian convoy had problems getting in as they're driving at 40 miles over the border. But still, time is of the essence. They applied, but they need an answer like right now. Because another 2 days, if it keeps going the way it's going, they're gonna have bigger problems, man. Because Russia definitely, they outman them, they'll outgun them. It's not even a fair fight, is what I'm saying. So I know he applied. Yes, he did. But just today alone, just a few minutes ago, they lost the city. They lost Kherson. So the mayor is saying that we lost Kherson. It takes a long time. See, I'm not familiar with how long it takes, but they need to make an emergency session where it can go a lot faster, BJ. That's what I'm saying. We need a fast process right now as far as this is concerned because we don't need another war. We don't. We already have enough of these dictator countries, and we already have enough of these. Not sure if Putin will stop, even if they join NATO. Well, TR, what if they join NATO? I don't think he's going to have much choice but to stop because now you're going to have 30 countries and most of them are armed with nuclear weapons. So you're not the only one that's armed with nuclear weapons. BJ saying, but perhaps they could consider this as a crisis. This is a crisis. This is a crisis. When you have 900,000, well, almost 900,000. It's like 800 and something thousand people that's running out of your country trying to jump into the neighboring country of Poland, looking for an emergency exit looking for a way to get into the other nation because, of course, they're officially refugee right now. I was just talking to my friend again, and it's the same thing. They're trying to get on the station, they're trying to get on the train, trying to see if they can make it across the border to Poland. Poland seems to be the best way to go right now, going west, because what I was told on the border, like between Moldova and Ukraine and down by, Romania, there is the issue with a lot of Russian troops on the border. So he said the best option is to just jump on TR, so he might be willing to risk it all. Well, he's about 69 years old. I don't think he has much more to live for. Maybe you're right. Maybe he's willing to risk it all. But TR, what I think is with Putin, man, Putin is still salty from the days of when he was a young soldier in the KGB. Remember, he's a young soldier in at the time in Soviet Union, right? And they had the KGB, and he felt because there was a time that that guy did not have anywhere to live, didn't have anywhere to go, and he was a young soldier, and that's why he built his way up the rank to get over, to get where he's at right now, becoming prime minister and becoming president, and I think he still feels salty about the whole idea about how the U.S. because he's going to blame the U.S. for this, right? Because of course it was Gorbachev and Reagan that put the deal together when they said toward on the wall. So of course, then he's a small soldier. He's thinking the Soviet Union shouldn't have done that. So he's thinking right now, that's my opinion, that he's thinking that he gets his chance at this moment to speak, and to do what he will with the army of Mother Russia, or he's trying to build back Mother Russia. So I think this is where we're at with this thing, man. I mean, I personally think he's gonna keep pushing, and even if they join, let's say they join tomorrow, the NATO. How much can they do? Let's say they took over part of the city already, right? They already took over one city, Kherson. They have the eastern part, the Donbas region. Remember, they have a good part, that there's a lot of Russian troops and a lot of Russian people in the eastern part of Ukraine. Now, let's say they take over those other parts of the city. I don't think if they join the European Union, or if they join the NATO and they move in, maybe they'll be able to stop the troops, the Russian troops where they at, and maybe they'll just draw a line. But then that would be it. But still, Ukraine would probably lose a good part of the land. What do you guys think about that? So they would not be able to push the Russian troops going back over the other side. That could easily escalate into a nuclear war. Remember, this guy is already threatening nuclear war as far as this is concerned. So who knows what it is, what's its plan, what the future entail as far as this is concerned. I was just looking at all these, reporters that are just there in the middle of the war zone, just trying to bring the news, just saying, hey, this city's gone, and I mean, they're brave, man. I really admire their bravery. And I admire the bravery of the Ukrainian people also. My heart and prayers go out to them. I wish them the best in this case. I'm hoping, really I'm hoping that, we can actually do something for them, that they can actually join the union and maybe they can get some defense. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, you know, jump in here, man, say hello. Like I said, I'm just seeing this whole Ukraine thing going on. I just don't like the way it's affecting us, to be honest with you. I'm looking at the gas prices, and I'm not liking the gas prices, guys. You see what I'm saying? The gas price is just that's going through the roof. The oil, I can't find oil in my local Walmart. Can you believe that? I went to Walmart. I'm looking for oil for my truck. I can't find oil. I can't find fluids. And then, and I'm asking them, when are we getting some oil? So for a whole week, I'm looking for oil. I went to 5 Walmarts and I can't find oil, synthetic oil. I found about 1 or 2 bottles of the regular oil, but I can't find synthetic oil. What problems do you guys have in your city as far as finding things, or everything is still the same? But that's the only thing I can find. So oil is, I need to change the oil on one of my car and I can't find oil. TR says everything is up. Oil, food, blood pressure. You're right. Blood pressure is up. I feel sometimes that my blood pressure is going up myself. We can't, I mean, in some parts we have to stress about this thing a little bit, right? It might seem far away, but it's not really far away. It's actually close to home, you know. So I just want them to allow them to join the union, throw them in the union, let them know, darling, good evening, how are you? I want them to just allow them to join, the North Atlantic Treaty Alliances or North Atlantic Treaty Organization. They need to allow them to jump in and just try to protect them. Because if you allow Putin to take over a sovereign nation like this one, right? Who to tell that he won't be able to just cruise on down to Romania at the southern side and said, you know what? Maybe I could just take over Romania too, or maybe Moldova. Maybe you can just cruise on to the southeast side, of Ukraine and say maybe I'll just take over Moldova also. And who to know, who to say what else won't he take over because he feels emboldened. See what I'm saying? This is exactly what's going on. So the fact that he's this emboldened in what he's doing, that's the reason why he's just rolling his 40-mile convoy up into Ukraine. And who to tell he'll stop into Ukraine? I mean, there's a few other nations that's around, the Black Sea that you can, maybe I can go over here, maybe I can take over this, maybe I can do that. Maybe who knows? So I think we have to put a stop to it, man. The anti-aircraft missile, though, is a good way to start. So we just gave them some anti-aircraft missile, and that's a good way to start. I hope we're gonna take that out of the 630 billion dollars that we got frozen for that guy. I don't know if you guys know about that, but we have $630 billion supposedly is his war chest money. He put this money away so he can use it to fight his war. I guess, and then rather than giving it to the people so they can, enjoy their country. But whichever way, his war chest money. I hope they're gonna take that money and use that money to pay for these anti-aircraft missile that we're sending, Ukraine, or to at least use it to help build the country back. You know what I'm saying? The boycott continues, guys. The boycott continues. I was just listening to a lot of the countries today and a lot of the businesses today that are boycotting this whole war that's going on in Ukraine. Like for instance, our favorite company, Apple, they're boycotting also. Netflix, they're boycotting also. So a lot of the places that do business here in these United States, they're doing a lot of boycotting. Like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they're demonetizing, stuff for the I guess that those are the Russian, state media. They're demonetizing them. So I mean everyone is doing their part. Everyone is doing their part. You know what I'm saying? So that's great though. That's good. I mean, I like when we come together as people, not just nation, but as people, because we bleed the same. You know what I'm saying? We were born the same. We're gonna die the same. So I like when we come together as a nation, and this is really good. I like the solidarity. I like how we're just looking out for the people right now. You know, because they need it. You know, people. We feel like people should be free. You know, to make their choices. You know, just like we're given freedom when we were born, at least in some places. But yeah, so it's just the next step. That's the next step. That's what happened today. You know, Kherson is gone, taken over by the Russian, and we'll see what's next. You know, how are you guys being affected, man, by this personally in your neck of the wood, wherever you guys live? How are you guys being affected? For me, it's just I can't find oil. I can't find oil in my grocery store. Well, not my grocery store, but my local Walmart or my local auto parts store. It's hard to find, oil and those kind of stuff. But uh, food. There's some food products that we still can't find on shelves. You know, how are you guys feeling affected in a case like this? Let's see here. Putin might risk it all. Yeah, I think he will definitely risk it all. Yeah, I think he will definitely risk it all, guys. But what are we gonna do? I just wish the best for these people, man. That's it. Wish the best for these people. Wish the best for all of us, to be honest. And yeah, I wanted to jump on here and you know reach out to you guys for a few minutes. Feeling a little bit tired, so I'm gonna try to put a life together so we can do a bigger show maybe the day after tomorrow. So hey guys, appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Remember to pray for the people of Ukraine. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the love, guidance, and blessing. We love you guys. And remember, prayers, all right? Prayers for everyone, especially Ukraine. All right, we'll talk soon.